Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. We have 4th versus 5th and they're only separated by 3 points. No Fabinho for Liverpool means Ozan Kabak gets his first appearance in a Liverpool shirt after his transfer on deadline day from Schalke, and with an ACL injury for James Justin for Leicester means a shuffle in the team is needed for the Foxes. With Leicester progressing in the FA Cup in midweek will give them confidence, but with Liverpool, that's a huge contrast after they're recovering from a 4-1 demolition by Manchester City last Sunday. Rodgers has never actually beaten Klopp after 3 attempts. Will that change today after 90 minutes at the King Power Stadium? We're going to find out. Welcome everyone. Hope you're doing okay. We are back after a week off. No midweek commentaries, but we are back. And let's hope this is a good one. I think it will be. I am very confident it will be. Put your score predictions in the chat. I just saw one. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one to see how this unfolds. This game, I think, it could go many ways. I don't even think it will go 2 ways. It could go many ways, and we're just gonna have to wait and see. I think that's the only thing we can do. I think it's quite an unpredictable game, if I say so myself. I mean, obviously we'll have predictions, but I mean, in terms of actually knowing how the game's going to unfold, that's a different story. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this goes. But let me just quickly put this on the Instagram to try and get some more people in. There we go. There we go. Right. I tried to do it before and then I messed this picture up. Silence it. We don't want any distractions. I usually forget to do that. But yeah, the teams are heading out. As you can see, lineups are on both sides of me, your left and right. Leicester, we're going to have to see when it kicks off. It's either going to be a back three like it is there, or it's going to be a back four with Amati at left back and Ricardo Pereira, who's number 21, at right back, and then Albrighton out wide right. But we have seen Rodgers use this system with Albrighton as a left wing back or a right wing back. We have seen it before, so it wouldn't surprise me. With Liverpool, that is definitely the way they're going to line up. But for Leicester, we're just going to have to see when the game kicks off if they go for a back three or they go for a back four. Because obviously, like I said in the intro there, James Justin is out for the rest of the season with an ACL injury. So that's a huge blow for Leicester. Rodgers said just before the game that he is set for a operation or surgery on next week. So hopefully that goes well and he should be back, hopefully, for Leicester for the start of next season. But Daniel Amati's had to come in for him. Vontae Daly-Campbell, who made his senior debut in the FA Cup in midweek, number 46, actually from Arsenal's academy, switched to Leicester. He's on the bench. He had a great game against Brighton. And as you can see, the bench is in the bottom left-hand corner. Ward, Fuchs, Daly-Campbell, Mendy, Chowdhury, Thomas, that's Luke Thomas, the left back, Ayoze Perez, Chenga's under, and Iheanacho, the 94th minute match winner against Brighton in the FA Cup. He's dropped to the bench. Because Vardy has returned fully fit. We don't know, because obviously he had these problems as well of injury a couple of weeks ago. I think got an hour against Brighton, so we'll have to see if he's fit. But he's back, and obviously for Liverpool, Kabak is the main man who is in the lineup, the main one. Thiago's also been dropped for James Milner. He's come in. Don't know if they're looking for a bit more experience, because Thiago has struggled a little bit to settle in the Premier League so far. So again, it's just one of those ones of having to see what happens with that one. You know, we know his ability, Thiago, but then we also know James Milner's ability and consistency within the game. So I don't think there's much change there. Curtis Jones as well. He starts number 17. Did start against Manchester City when we were taken off after 68 minutes. Well, Maddison is over the ball in the centre circle there, just talking to the referee today, Anthony Taylor. His assistants are Gary Beswick and Adam Nunn. Full official is Lee Mason. VAR, the man Accountable for any decisions on VAR is Stuart Atwell, and his assistant on VAR is Mark Scholes. So they're the referees and the assistants and the fourth officials. We've got both teams ready. Leicester, I think, to kick off, as I just saw, but we're currently seeing Brendan Rodgers, and here is Jurgen Klopp for Liverpool. 298th game as Liverpool manager, so striding towards that 300 mark in games for Liverpool. But here's James Maddison. Leicester kicking from right to left. Liverpool left to right, a switch of ends for this game. The referee blows the whistle. All players take the knee before we kick off, like they always do. It's great to see it still happening, still in mid-February, quite a way through the season. But we have kicked off with Leicester sending the ball towards Harvey Barnes, header away by Trent Alexander-Arnold. And we are away at the King Power Stadium with a throw-in for Leicester. And we have Ricardo Pereira on the left-hand side, and he's already been dispossessed, but Firmino can't bring it further forward because Söyüncü's blocked him off. And have it again with Ricardo Pereira on the left. Goes side to Tielemans, first time left-footed passes, gone straight to James Milner. Mane working it to Robertson on the left. He enters the Leicester half on the left-hand side. He's going to be chased by Marco Brighton. He's able to get an early cross in. Söyüncü is just able to flick it behind for a corner for Liverpool. Salah was there at the back post, nearly got on the end of it. Very close from Liverpool, a positive start. Dispossessing Tielemans from a really misplaced pass. It was just rushed more than anything. But we have got a corner. Kabak is up, the man on loan from Schalke, an option to buy for Liverpool. It's crossed towards the near post, caught by Ricardo Pereira, who isn't. I think it's a back four with Ricardo Pereira at left back. Oh, Curtis Jones took it away from Arnold, and Maddison's going to look to strike it early. Oh, he nearly catches out Alisson from the halfway line. Maybe not the best of decisions from Maddison, because I think Harvey Barnes was charging away. Or was it Marco Brighton? It was Marco Brighton charging away, but just inside the Leicester half, he caught Alisson out. It was going wide anyway if the Brazilian had missed it, but audacious. And if that goes in, that's probably goal of the season. Unlucky from James Maddison. They're already returning on his best season in the Leicester shirt. He feels he's at his best as well. Well, not to be there. As Trent Alexander-Arnold, his pass has been cut out and it falls towards Ndidi. His pass has also been intercepted, and then Salah loses it to Tielemans, and he goes back to Söyüncü, who finds Johnny Evans. I feel like it's a back three, as Evans' pass is short to Amati, just is able to get a foot to it, but his clearance has gone straight to James Milner, zips it into Curtis Jones. Got Robertson there as an option at left back, and he will use him. And he finds Mane. He's going to look to cut inside, and then back on the outside, takes it away from Amati. Great skill from Mane, dinks it in, headed by Söyüncü. Dropped off by Amati to Evans, goes forward to Maddison, lays it off to Tielemans, who sends it forward, and Vardy's in behind. Sweeper keeper Alisson has to knee it away towards Trent Alexander-Arnold on the halfway line, who can bring it down and send a pass through. What a ball to Mane. He's in behind the defence, in the box, tries to lay it off to Salah. Söyüncü cuts it out, slides it behind for a corner. But what a ball from Arnold. It was good anticipation from Alisson to catch Vardy out from the ball forward, and then an outside of the boot curling ball to Mane was just dropping inside from that left hand side. He laid it towards Mo Salah, and then Söyüncü just able to slide in just in time to take it away from the Egyptian, as he is top goal scorer currently. Salah still with 16 goals despite their poor season. Liverpool, it's Milner for an outswinger, it's in towards the box. Indeed, he heads it away. Maddison helps it on towards the Liverpool left-hand side, where Arnold will have to go to the opposite flank to watch it out for a throw-in. Couldn't quite get there. Just inside the Leicester half. I think both teams will just look to reorganise now. But Leicester in their last 3 Premier League games have lost, won and drawn. So mixed form compared to Liverpool. They've won and then they've lost 2 on the bounce. So both teams not in the most consistent of form as of late. So Robertson's pass is intercepted by Marco Brighton. Let's have an actual look of how Leicester are setting up here. I feel like they're defending with a back 4, and then when they've got the ball, they go to a back 3, allowing Ricardo Pereira and Albrighton to get further forward. So they have the protection of 3 central defenders of Amati, Evans, and Söyüncü. So I feel like when they're defending, it's a 4 at the back, and then when they've got the ball, it's a 3, and they decide to get the full-backs further forward. But they've worked it to the opposite side to Arnold, who helps it onto Salah, lays it back off to Arnold, through the gap towards Curtis Jones, caught by Sunchu, but it falls straight to Arnold, who can't progress any further forward without it falling for a throw-in for Liverpool. Good early strong tackles from Sunchu already, who is also returning from an injury-struck early part of his season. Arnold hits it towards Maddison, it falls to Ndidi, helps it on forward, cut out by Jones with the head, and then Ndidi goes for it and keeps it and slots it through towards Jamie Vardy. Good interception by the captain, Jordan Henderson, who looks to set away Mo Salah. I think Ricardo Pereira got a vital touch there to take it away from Salah because he could have been in behind. Good ball though from Ndidi, being more lively than Firmino and Jones. Looked to set through Jamie Vardy alongside Kabak, but Henderson pushed forward and was able to cut it out. But 5 minutes in, cagey, both teams are looking a little bit nervous, Leicester especially in possession. Not really getting a foothold of the game 5 minutes in. Arnold's throwing towards Salah, again cut out by Soyuncu. In the final third we go, with a throw-in on the right-hand side. Playing quite a high line in Liverpool, they have got to be careful, because despite Vardy being the age of 34, he's still got the pace. Arnold helps it in towards the box, deflects to Maddison, who holds it up and finds Tielemans, who gets beyond Robertson, but his touch is too far forward, and Henderson will win the ball and play it towards Mane. He works it away from Amati and Ndidi, and he's broke away. He's on the edge of the box. He's going to keep running, look for Salah in the box on the right-hand side. He helps it back in, and Evans helps it back out on the edge of the 6-yard box as they look to break through there, Liverpool. Not quite. They've worked it to Arnold. He gets a cross in. Evans is the one who nods it away to Barnes on the edge of the box, who will dribble forward and lay it off to Tielemans. Ndidi. To the left to Ricardo, who's on his unfavoured side. He's usually a right-footed player. He finds Ndidi, the last signing in the tenure of Claudio Ranieri for Leicester. His Soyuncu in the 18-yard box on the left-hand side. Dinks it down the line with the left foot to Barnes. Into Pereira, back to Barnes, nods it to Vardy, back towards Barnes, cut out by Wijnaldum. Unfortunate for Leicester, who can't quite get out of their own half at the minute, with Wijnaldum looking for Salah, cut out by the head of Pereira. Barnes keeps it in and tackles towards Pereira, who slides behind Salah to win the ball. Fair tackle by Pereira, but his foot, the foot he got to the ball, went straight to Milner. So Liverpool are in possession again, who have been quite the dominant side in the first 7 minutes, and it's Salah with the ball, pokes it towards Firmino. It does get to the Brazilian, who can work away from Ndidi. He's got options to his left, he'll look for them. He's cut out his first pass, but he's fell back to him. He's giving it to Wijnaldum. It looks to be set for Barcelona in the summer, but it's a cause of, can they afford him? We've obviously heard the struggles Barcelona are having financially, but for now he's a Liverpool player, and Milner's been found in the box here. He lays it into Mane on the byline. He looks to cut back into the box, and he's been tackled by Daniel Amati. And is that a goal kick? I think Amati's tackled the ball, and he's got it off Mane last for a Leicester goal kick. It was just played into Mane into Firmino from the left-hand side inwards. He's got it to Milner, who just found its way to the Senegalese, and I think he may have even been an offside actually on Mane as he received the ball from Milner. Yeah, it is. It's been given as an offside. Marginal, but I think it was offside. Right decision from the linesman as Schmeichel takes the free kick to Pereira on the left-hand side. Just scuffs it up forward towards Maddison, who's been able to attempt to bring it down, but Wijnaldum's used his strength to take it away from the English midfielder and just find Trent Alexander-Arnold. And here is Milner, who looks for a switch to Robertson on the left. It's a beautiful diagonal switch in Robertson, who's just got the ball stuck under his feet. He's able to get it out of his feet and find Mane on the left-hand side. Looks to get the ball in the box, pressured by Albrighton, and Leicester win it back, and they've got possession in their own box here. Out to Albrighton, forward to, I think that's Vardy, who's just slipped and lost his footing, and Henderson can take over and bring it forward. 1-2 with Salah, tackled by Pereira. Maddison out to Barnes. Quite deep Barnes here in the Leicester half, as they have won possession back from Liverpool, who've dominated possession with 68% of it so far. Soyuncu to Tielemans, who got the assist in the FA Cup in midweek with a quick corner to catch out Brighton, as Schmeichel's pass is wayward and out for a throw-in for Liverpool. Schmeichel, who didn't play in midweek, it was Danny Ward, who is formerly of Liverpool, the Leicester substitute keeper, actually made 2 Premier League appearances for Liverpool back in the 2015-16 season, the season Leicester won the league. in that heroic season where they won 23 games, drew 12 and lost 3. One of them being to Liverpool, and they could be behind here. Salah being fed through by Henderson, brought down, threw himself to the ground like he's an Olympic diver. And we've got a goal kick with Leicester City. Jordan Henderson there, that's what he can bring in that centre-back role. Balls from deep, cutting through defences, and he's got it over Pereira and found Salah, who brought it down beautifully with some good touches, and then by the time he was about to think about pulling the trigger, the ball's just been brought away from him, and his arms in the air, diving. Honestly, I think him and Mane should think about entering synchronised diving competitions, because I think they'd be getting 10s all round. Nothing given, just a goal kick though in the end. But again, like I said, Henderson showing what he can bring in that defensive centre-back role. Not just his leadership from the back, but his passing he brings that he's usually in the midfield with. Obviously due to injuries, that's not the case today. But Schmeichel sends it forward, Milner heads it back towards his defence, and it's fell to Maddison, who looks to loop it toward Barnes, who can't bring it down, and Arnold helps it to Milner, who gets it down the line looking for Salah. Not quite hit his intended target, and Leicester are back in possession with Johnny Evans. Again, zips it to that left-hand side to Barnes, who's able to keep it in. And just have a bit of time on the ball and look for Vardy in behind. As it got past Kabak, it has Vardy with the right foot. Looks to scoop in on the top of the net. It goes. May have been offside there, Vardy, as the ball was played. We're going to have a look here, but audacious to try and dink it over Alisson. I think he was onside just about. And with the right boot on the left-hand side of the box, he looked to just hook it over the head of Alisson into the back of the net. Don't think it was ever going to loop in. Just too much power on the shot from Vardy, but we've seen him do it before. I remember him doing it against Bournemouth a couple of seasons ago, where and Tottenham as well, actually, where he's hooked the ball over the keeper's head. But not to be that time, as Jones has it with Wijnaldum as they progress into the Leicester half with Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's got Salah in forward, and he will use him. He's got there ahead of Pereira, and there we go again. Another dive from Salah. That's 2 for 2. People need to start putting bets on how many dives a game Salah's going to do. No foul there. Dived easily, and Leicester can bring it away with Albrighton. Sends it down the channel. Vardy's in between Kabak and Henderson. Henderson will get there, and he's tackled by Jamie Vardy, and a throw it'll be for Liverpool in their own half. Let's have a look here. Trent played it through to Salah, cut inside on Pereira. It was caught very, very lightly in the box. That's not a penalty. The way he's gone down, threw himself to the ground. And for me, yes, there was contact, but it was very, very minimal. Was not enough contact to bring him down the way he went down. And they are going to check it. They've got to, just in case, but that is being deemed no penalty. And we are going to continue with an Andy Robertson throw-in, who'll be leading Scotland into the Euros. Hopefully it goes ahead. You know, with COVID, you just never know. In the summer. Mane. Just been, I think, tripped from behind there. And the free kick will be given. And Robertson will look to take it quickly, but opts against it and just rolls it into Henderson, who's just alongside him. And he goes to Ozan Kabak, who has played 42 games for Schalke at the age of 20 before joining Liverpool. He was in a struggling Schalke side, to say the least. They were under 4 managers this season. And he's got away from Schalke to Liverpool as they've progressed forward here with Robertson getting the better of Tielemans. Firmino's dropped deep and cuts the ball over to the right-hand side to Salah on the edge. Lays it into Curtis Jones. Many blue shirts behind the ball here as Curtis Jones finds Salah in a little bit of room. Trent tries to scoop it back in towards Salah, who made it on running move. Fell straight back to Arnold. He looks to take on Ricardo Pereira, and he's been tackled, and a throw in it is for Liverpool. Oh, my hand. Trent with a throw in. Not got many options. Salah's there making the move, and he's trying to get in behind Pereira, but Sanchi's there to cover, to just nod it down for Pereira to volley away towards Jamie Vardy. Kabak heads it forward towards Maddison, who brings it down with a pass to Tielemans. He looks to feed through Vardy, does back to goal though, and he just has to lay it into Tielemans again. He finds Marco Brighton for Leicester. Tielemans again, back to Amati, and then to Evans inside the Leicester half. We are control possession for Leicester. It'll be Amati, number 18. Looks to find a ball down the line, cut out by Mane, and throwing for Leicester, taking quickly behind to Evans, back to the goalkeeper in the 18-yard box, Schmeichel. Back over to Johnny Evans, who is playing his 20th game against Liverpool in his career. 7 of them have been wins, 6 of them have been losses, yet to score in the fixture. Today could be the day. Schmeichel dinks it towards Amati, cut out by Wijnaldum, and it's now Mane on the ball, on the left wing position. Is he going to cut in or out? He's going to go on the outside of Amati. He's got the pace for it, and he dinks it into the box, just off balance, and I think it was just blocked off by Amati down the byline. Even though Mane was losing his footing, I don't think the ball would have been that poor from him. Yeah, it's a corner blocked off by Amati. He's doing okay to keep Mane half quiet. He's getting in behind a few times, but nothing too dangerous. But Mane has only scored 1 in his last 8 Premier League games, so he'll be looking to change that and get a goal today. So will Salah as well. He'll go on to add to his goals. He's got 3 in his last 3 as Robertson puts the ball in, and it's been flicked onto the back post where Salah brings it down on the left foot. Can't quite work the shot. Plays it to Henderson, who tries to get it across. Good block from Soyuncu to help it out for another corner. Soyuncu has been on it the first 15 minutes of this game, as it looks like a substitution is going to have to be made for Liverpool. Thiago's getting the shin pads on, and the electric board's getting ready. I think Milner has played all he can. Milner's the person who's being shown on the camera. It looks like Thiago's going to have to come on. I'm not sure what's happened. Obviously, the commentators get fed information. I don't. So I'm not sure what's happened. I presume he's picked up a little bit of a knock or an injury. As Robertson, it's an in-swinger this time. Indeed, he gets to him, but he falls to Salah and he strikes just wide of the post. Twice that, back-to-back corners, Salah was able to just receive the ball from a flick away or a flick on. That time it's from Indeed. He met it with the left foot, always heading wide. Actually quite inaccurate there from Salah. Why Salah is just cheating, I don't know, but for me, he's dived twice already. And with an inaccurate shot, that might be a bit of karma. Venno Mixer, of course, you'll hear. Hello, mate. Hope you're doing alright. Always forever present in the streams. But yeah, Milner is having to be brought off, unfortunately. He's played. This is his, 554 games he's now played in the Premier League. This one being cut short at the 16th and a half minute. Again, not sure why he's been took off. Obviously, I'm presuming it's injury. The injury is, I don't know if it's muscular. He's picked up a knock in the game. I don't know. I didn't see anything visible, so it might just be a slight tweak of the muscle. But it is Thiago to come on. Not a bad replacement. Champions League winner of last year with Bayern Munich. I mean, not too bad. He's also suffered with injuries himself, Thiago. He's been out for 12 games with injury this season. Schmeichel looks to get it to Ricardo. Can't win the flick on. And again, they're stuck in their own half here, Leicester City. They're really struggling against the champions, Liverpool. And Trent Alexander-Arnold throwing it to Kabak. Goes inside to Thiago, who looked to speed up the play. He already goes inside towards Curtis Jones, pickpocketed by Albrighton. But he can't keep it in his possession, and Thiago's curled it out wide to Andy Robertson. He's got Mane to his left, and he'll go inside to Firmino. Mane making an onwards run, cut out by Evans, and he finds Amati. It's now with Tielemans, back to the edge of the box to Soyuncu. Takes a right-footed touch and a right-footed pass down towards Albrighton, who chests it down, but he's met by Robertson, who's been able to help it forward, with Evans scruffily getting it away to Amati, who's worked it back to the goalkeeper, Schmeichel, and again, he's just dinked it to the right-hand side, and Liverpool have won it with a Robertson header, and it's now Jones to Thiago. Really struggling, Leicester. Wijnaldum gets it through the gap to Robertson. It's an early cross, comes off the head of Mane. Not really knowing too much about it there, Sadio Mane, and a goal kick it will be for Leicester, who's making an onwards run. Andy Robertson went for an early cross, just bounced off his head and out for a goal kick. But they are well and truly camped in their own half here, Leicester. They keep playing it short, and the press that Liverpool are playing, pushing right up, they can't get out. Thiago Scam does. Nah, give him time. That's all I'm going to say. Schmeichel goes long this time towards Barnes. Can't win the flick on. Kabak wins the header. Only as far as a Leicester throwing on the Leicester left-hand side. But Ozan Kabak, in his first minutes in a Liverpool shirt, he's been absolutely fantastic, I think, so far. Obviously, we've still got a good chunk of the game left to play. But in terms of the first under 20 minutes to go against Jamie Vardy, he's not done too bad. There's Ricardo Pereira still waiting to take the throw-in. He's gone just behind him to Tielemans. Back to Pereira. His run's being cut out by a Liverpool player, and Soyuncu helps it back on. It's Mane who gets there ahead of Amati as the ball loops in the air, and Again, Liverpool are in possession in their own half, though, this time. And Robertson can play forward to Thiago, who's just peeled to the left-hand side. Looks to go inside, he's been cut out and slide, tackled by Ndidi, and Leicester have the ball for Marty, who just sends it over the top and forward. Henderson can stop the ball from progressing further forward, and the ball has been cut out by Liverpool by Leicester, and it's Tielemans to Harvey Barnes on the edge of the box. He's got a chance to shoot, but he laid off to Maddison in the box on the right side, cuts in and tries too hard to try and get it onto one of his feet to get a shot away, and a break is on as Firmino's held it up and released Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's got Salah in behind, he finds him, Schmeichel's going to rush out and try and stop the shot. He can't, and Amarty's had to get there late, and Mane's gone in really strong, and they've just got away with that. A break from Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's fed through Salah, and his touch was good enough to get a dinked ball over Schmeichel, and it's gone into the 6-yard box. I don't know if I think it was a shot / pass. It's a shot. It's actually saved by Schmeichel, and in the 6-yard box, Amarty just hesitated to clear, and Mane came in quite aggressively, but rightly so. Really, the ball was there to be won, and a goal kick it will be because Mane got the last touch as he slid in. Well, that was good from Salah to get the dink over Schmeichel, but it was a good save as well by the Danish international as Amarty's been given the ball from the goal kick. Albrighton's laid it back into Amarty, who's just had to poke it out for a throw-in for Liverpool on the far right-hand side after being pressured by Thiago. Do you normally change the lineup when a substitution takes place? No, I don't, because I've not quite got the resources to do that yet. These are just images, as you can see. I'll show you now. Well, they're just images. So when I find out the lineup, I do that. But yeah, I will. When substitutes happen, I'll always notify and keep up to date with anyone who joins who might not know the substitutions happened. As Firmino looks to feed through Mane with an over-the-top through ball cut out by Leicester and cleared away by Pereira. Header won by Ozan Kabak on Maddison, and it's gone straight to Curtis Jones, who finds Thiago just to his left. He finds Robertson. Back to Jordan Henderson. A win for Liverpool would put them joint points on Leicester with 43. A win will be key, but with passes like that from Arnold, sloppy, they won't be doing that. Indeed, he has it, and Tielemans not getting the communication, and a foul's been committed on Curtis Jones from Indeed as Tielemans had the ball and then took too long on it and dispossessed, and indeed he had to foul Curtis Jones to make sure there was no counter-attack, and they're already going ahead with it. Mane in the box, collected by Schmeichel. I think he tried to go inside into the box, and his pass wasn't quite met by the Liverpool midfielder in the box, and it went straight to Schmeichel. It's been an interesting, tight first 20 or so minutes. Leicester really struggling to get a grip in the game. Soyuncu gets it into Harvey Barnes, outmuscled by Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he's got it to Firmino. Back to goal, so he has to find Wijnaldum. He's been pressured by Maddison. He's laid it into Kabak, who goes over to Jordan Henderson. He's played 6 games at centre-back. This is now his 7th in the Premier League. There's Thiago there, just a few misplaced touches, and Maddison can get the ball, and then straight away pressured by Liverpool, and Henderson's going to send the ball, looking for Salah in behind. It's found him as well. Pereira's really struggling, and he's done well there, to be fair, the Portuguese, to tackle Salah and out for a corner. He thought Salah got the last touch there, but the linesman disagrees. Again, Henderson, though, with a ball through, over the top, those long diagonals. He's been struggling, Pereira, on that left-hand side. Salah's got there a few times, but that time, to be fair to him, he did get the tackle in, and he had to because Salah was in behind there, and I think that was a goal kick. Hard to tell for the linesman, to be fair. It was a very slight touch off Salah. From the naked eye, you probably struggled to see that, so no real complaints for Leicester. It was a very slight touch. But Arnold is to take the outswinging ball again. Indeed, he's there to head it away, and Maddison will look to bring it away. He's cut it out. He's been brought down, but it will be taken over by Harvey Barnes. He's also been taken down by Curtis Jones, doing anything to stop the counter attack, and a yellow card's been given to the young central midfielder, and rightly so. And I think he accepts that. Took down Maddison first as he looked to break, and then the ball just fell to Harvey Barnes as Maddison looked to cut onto his left foot to try and continue the counter-attack. Barnes took over, pulled down as well inside the Leicester half, and a free kick it will be for Leicester, and a booking. Barnes dive. Are we watching the same game? I don't think it was. As Pereira works it down the line towards Ndidi, met by Arnold, who helps it down the line, and it will be Salah to have to meet Soyuncu, and he will not get there ahead of the Turkish centre-back. It's now with Schmeichel to Evans in the 18-yard box for Leicester. A dinked ball into Pereira. It's poor, inaccurate again. And Curtis Jones will get there with the Arnold interception. Leicester have won it back though with Tielemans, who's worked it back, and it's now gone over to Albrighton. Finds Amati, heavy touch, and Firmino can win it back in the final third for Liverpool, and they're going to look to run at the defence with Mane. Good tackle by Ndidi, and Tielemans works it to the left to Ricardo Pereira. Right-footed ball to Harvey Barnes, who's stretching the pitch as wide as he can. He's one-on-one with Trent Alexander-Arnold, can't get inside. Good challenge from the right-back, and he just plays it forward to Wijnaldum. He finds Jones, and into Henderson, who's just on the edge of the box for Liverpool. Works it to Robertson. Nice ball inside to Curtis Jones. They're just beating the press so easily, Liverpool, and that's something Leicester are struggling to do, beat the Liverpool press. As Robertson brings it forward, marauds forward, gets the ball back from Firmino, and he continues his run. He's worked his way over to the right-hand side here with Mohamed Salah, and he's been given it, and he looks to get a ball in towards Firmino, who looks to dink it forward, and Schmeichel's there again to block off the shot. Great work from Robertson, a run from his own box all the way into the Leicester half, and release Mohamed Salah, who found a ball inside to Firmino, who made a great run onside, looked to just lift it forward, and I just don't think he could get the ball off the ground, and a save from Schmeichel was needed with the left knee. Good save by the experienced keeper now, looking for his 75th clean sheet in the Premier League. Will that come today? Thiago's there with the ball from the short corner, goes all the way back to Trent Alexander-Arnold, back towards Robertson, into Curtis Jones. Can he keep the ball? Yes, he can. Finds Robertson, left-footed ball inside to Thiago. Outside of the boot ball, looking for Henderson in the box, and it does get towards him. He gets the ball back in. It's headed on to Firmino. Has that been saved? From the camera angle, you can't tell, but the ball's not gone into the back of the net. And Leicester have given it away again. What am I watching? This is shocking from Leicester. Liverpool have it straight back with Mane on the left-hand side. One-on-one with Amati. Slows the ball down and just gives it to Robertson behind him. Back to Mane. On the right foot, just plays it backwards to Jordan Henderson. And now over to Kabak. I don't know what happened with the Firmino shot there. I think it was saved or he's mishit it. I'm not sure. After the ball was worked to him, after Henderson helped the ball back in the box, Thiago's been dispossessed, and Anthony Taylor's deemed it a free kick on Thiago. I'm not sure that was a foul by Ndidi, but that's what it's been given as. Let's have a look then. At this chance, Thiago outside of the boot ball to Henderson at the back post, who just helped it on with the left foot. I think it was flicked on by Mane, so it would have been offside anyway. Henderson helped it on, flicked on by Mane, and what a save from Schmeichel! That's ridiculous. Firmino looked, he thought he was going to score. That's an unreal save. Honestly, it was that close. It was about 5 yards out. It looked that close and that powerful. It just looked like he missed it or something. It just didn't look physically possible like Schmeichel to save that, but he did. But I don't think it would have counted anyway because Henderson was offside when he received the ball from the flick on. But the free kick's here with Arnold towards that back post again to Henderson. Flicked away by Ndidi, only as far as Henderson, who's retrieved the ball for Liverpool and plays it down the line to Firmino. Cuts it onto his right foot, decides to shoot, and it's always asking a lot of his own ability there, but I think it's actually nicked off a Leicester defender last, and it'll be a Liverpool corner, and they're all over Leicester here. That is probably, it wouldn't have counted anyway, but that is probably save of the season. That is unbelievable from Schmeichel. That is like he's channeling his inner father skills. That was unreal. Trent with the ball in, headed away by Evans to the edge of the box to Thiago, who nods it back to the corner taker. Arnold, who helps it in with a weak foot. Again helped away by Vardy. Straight to Curtis Jones, who just finds Robertson. Good ball to Salah, who's drifted to the left-hand side. Inside to Curtis Jones. Right-footed ball to the far end of the pitch where it's found Arnold, who's helped it in. Can be controlled by Harvey Barnes and played forward to Mark Albrighton, who goes inside as he's gone to the left-hand side and finds a reverse ball into Vardy. He's one-on-one with Jordan Henderson on the left-hand side. Jamie Vardy taking it inside, outside, back in. He's still got the ball on the edge, lays it in, looking for Tielemans, misplaced pass, but Liverpool can't keep it for too long as indeed he's won the ball back. Harvey Barnes, dinked ball looking for Albrighton on the opposite side. It's Robertson who can head it to Mane, lays it off to Jones in the Liverpool box. He has to be careful here. Finds Robertson, back into Jones, who's gone to the left-hand side here, giving him an angle. Found Thiago. Can he work himself away from Ndidi? No, he can't. It's a fair challenge. He goes inside to Maddison on the edge of the box. Back to goal. Turns. He's able to get a shot away. Deflects off Kabak. And Alisson can't avoid the corner kick. And a Leicester corner it'll be their first one as well. Kabak with the block, doing really well so far. The Turkish international, 7 appearances for his country so far, so he's also got a little bit of international experience. But this is Leicester's first real chance to get a ball in the box and ask questions of the Liverpool defence, because if Liverpool fans are looking for a response after their defeat last week, this is the perfect way. They've been really good in the first half an hour. Leicester have been really poor, not being able to deal with the Liverpool press at all. Got to remember as well, in the reverse fixture last year at the King Power Stadium, this finished 4-0 to Liverpool. So they don't like playing Liverpool at their own ground. They don't like playing anyone at their own ground so far this season. They've suffered a lot of losses at home. But here's Maddison, the outswinging corner. Indeed, he heads it on. Goal kick. Wild header. Was never going to trouble Alisson. But that's interesting from Indeed. He beat Henderson at the near post there for the header. But Indeed, he's been winning every single header from corners from both ends. That side for Leicester and defensively. So that could be a weapon that Leicester try and use. As Wijnaldum's been given the ball. Switches it towards Robertson. Is it going to be cut out by Albrighton? It is. But helps it back to his right back, Amati, who's then found Evans. Again, the press is intense. But he's able to work the ball to Harvey Barnes. He's let the ball run across his body and win the throw-in off Trent Alexander. Throw-in for Liverpool. Not sure about that one. Good ball from Evans. Barnes was able to let it run across his body and look to cut inside. And then Arnold was there to cut that out. But obviously, as is cut it out, it must have just gone off Harvey Barnes last. So throwing it'll be for Liverpool. Number 66, Trent Alexander-Arnold to take. 115th Premier League appearance for him today. So experienced at only the age of 22. Unbelievable experience to have at such a young age. Already labelled as one of the best right-backs in the world. That throw-in is a little bit poor though. And, oh, come on, referee. Tielemans there. Went in a little bit too hard on Mane as he tried to receive the ball from the throw-in as he came from the left, just inside. Tielemans, yeah, probably just caught Mane actually on the knee. Right decision, I am wrong. I do apologise. Yeah, that was a foul. That was a foul. But can we see a goal in this first half? I mean, Liverpool completely deserve a goal in every single way. They've been so good this first 32 minutes. As they've worked the ball towards Firmino. Poor touch. Leicester have it back on the halfway line with Ndidi. Goes inside to Tielemans, have a little bit of room in the middle of the park to find a pass, and he's looked towards Marco Brighton. Robertson has to deal with it and doesn't deal with it so convincingly, but he's able to work. Oh, what is that all allowed? They've been rolled out to Albrighton. He's been rolled out to Robertson, but Albrighton looked to smack the ball at Alisson's hand as he was to roll it. Is that allowed? I don't know, but we're continuing with Wijnaldum on the ball. That was strange. Robertson back to Henderson. Yeah, Robertson. Oh, here we go. Henderson, ball over the top again. Cut out by Sancho's chest and helps it forward only as far as Wijnaldum, who's nearly been dispossessed by Maddison, but he's able to bring the ball away, the Dutch international. And he finds Salah, lays it off first time to Arnold, who's just on the halfway line. Back to Ozan Kabak. He finds Henderson. But he has a weird one. That with Albrighton is Robertson, who had to deal with Albrighton's, worked it down the line towards Mane. Amati's there, and a strong challenge has won the throne for Leicester as it came off Robertson last. Gotta love a challenge like that from Amati. Strong. Not a little bit reckless, but the ball was there to be won, and he won it. No complaints though. That's what I like though. No complaints from Liverpool about that challenge. Won the ball fairly. Yes, a bit of a raised boot maybe, but nothing too sinister. It's actually Liverpool with throwing now, because once again BT Sports struggled to show me the game, so I don't know why Leicester have lost the ball there, because they did have the throw-in from the Amati challenge, unless it's just gone the opposite way and there was a bit of a miscommunication. I'm not sure. There's Robertson to take. Not many options here for Liverpool at all. Struggling to throw the ball here, and he has thrown it. Scores Curtis Jones. He's been dispossessed though by Leicester, and they have it back in their own box with Schmeichel. First time clearance away, and it's poor. Looped in the air around 20 yards away from goal. Indeed, he can just flick it away, but only as far as Wijnaldum. Salah. He's got a few options. Firmino's one of them in the box. Back to goal. Poor touch can be helped away by Leicester. Only as far as Wijnaldum, and his poor pass has helped Leicester win it back with Pereira. Gone inside to Tielemans. Back to Sancho. Work to the right hand side. Poor ball. Throw in for Liverpool. Sancho misplaced pass. And the throw-in's quickly been taken to Curtis Jones, tackled by Albrighton, who ups it down the line. Again, straight to a red shirt of Thiago. Mane, he's back to goal, so he has to just lay it into Jordan Henderson. He finds Kabak. 6 clean sheets for Liverpool and the 9 for Leicester, so 3 difference there. But if anyone's going to keep a clean sheet, it's going to be Liverpool today. They're all absolutely all over Leicester as they've just lost the ball. They're trying to play it into Robertson and Schmeichel can clear away. And again, straight to Henderson who heads it forward, but it's met by Amati. It's now Albrighton to Tielemans. Hooks it in the air hopelessly and Mane can win it back for Liverpool as they've got it to Henderson. Robertson back to Alisson. I don't think in terms of a top 6 clash, obviously I know this is 4v5, 3rd v4, sorry, why have I said 4v5? 3rd v4, I've never seen this season such a dominant performance. Leicester are getting dominated in every single way. They're not being able to have any kind of controlled possession at all. As Kabak gives it back to them as he looks for a long switch towards Mane. The press from Liverpool has just been non-stop. Can they break the press here? They've got it to Pereira, who's able to find Harvey Barnes. One-on-one with Arnold, looks to go onto his outside. And then gets a ball in towards Vardy, who's headed it on. And it's the first real chance for Leicester. Easy save for Alisson. It was right towards the Brazilian. Didn't have to really do much. Alisson to stop the ball from going into the back of the net. Vardy, though, got in between Robertson and Henderson towards the back post. On the penalty spot it was. Worked the header and just didn't generate enough power. It's a positive, though, for Leicester. They've actually had a shot on goal as Wijnaldum's had to force it back to Trent. Yeah, I do apologise. It is 3rd v4. I don't know why I said 4v5. My mistake. In terms of goals, really, Leicester have struggled the last couple of games. They scored in the week due to a quick corner taken in the 94th minute. And then they were 0-0 in the last Premier League game last Sunday against Wolves. So goals have had to come by the last couple of games. As Maddison's won it back from Liverpool. Can't even describe that pass. Cut out by Arnold, and again forward it goes by Leicester as they cut it out, and then they've lost it, and then they've won it in the middle of the park, and then Tielemans has been tackled, and Curtis Jones has it for Liverpool as they look to break forward. Can he release it to the right hand side? No, he can't. He's stopped by Leicester, and referee tells him to get up, and there's a break on, and Harvey Barnes is in behind. Oh, the ball's just been caught behind him, and he has to try and take on Arnold again. He was away though. He's getting doubled up on by Thiago and Arnold, and he tries to roulette there. Thiago stopped by Pereira. And Barnes helps it to the right-hand side to Maddison. Can't take the control of the ball. And Mane wins it back for Robertson. Given to Mane. Robertson's going to continue his run. We could have a goal on our hands here. Sadio Mane breaking forward. Skips past Amati too easily. Brought down by Ndidi with enough strength to have no foul there for Liverpool. And Maddison now has it for Leicester. Good defending by Ndidi. Vardy wanted it to feet. Maddison went around the corner. And again, Liverpool have it back. This is honestly, I've watched Leicester quite a few times this year, and this is the worst I've seen them. Honestly, it might just be me watching the game, but the Liverpool press this first half, if they can keep it up, which they should be able to, being Premier League players, they should be able to keep it up. It's just been unrelentless. It's been relentless. I've never seen anything like it. Leicester have had no time to even knock the ball around their 2 centre-backs or anything. They've just not been allowed to. And Firmino's got the ball. Robertson in the box on the left-hand side looks to drill it across, and I think it's deflected. And a corner it will be for Liverpool. So they just broke there. They were just having possession. Broken between the lines. Salah got it into Arnold, who was able to take it in his path. Burst away from Barnes. Found Firmino inside. Outside left, it went to Robertson. His shot across goal blocked off by Amati by the left boot, and away it goes for a corner. Leicester will count themselves very lucky if they go into this half-time break at 0-0, because they need to sort it out. They've been so poor. Robertson, an in-swinger. Soyuncu can head away far enough to not hit Salah, but he does fall to Arnold, who works it to Thiago. A switch, it goes to Henderson, who's just peeled to the left-hand side in the left wing position here on his right foot. He's been pressured by Amati, so has to find Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's now Curtis Jones. Forward to Robertson, who's still on the right-hand side from the corner. Thiago. Arnold. Switches on to Mane and he'll look for it. He finds him. Poor touch. Amati can take over and diving head of the ball. Back to Evans, who can only clear it under pressure, and it's gone straight to Henderson, who helps it back forward, headed away by Amati, headed by Thiago into a teammate of his of Wijnaldum, and again Liverpool are on the ball. It's just non-stop. This is unbelievable. Robertson looks towards Salah in behind. Pereira just cut this one out with his head. He falls to Ndidi, who takes a few touches and works it back to Pereira. Inside to Ndidi, Tielemans, Ndidi. Those are two players who've really had no impact in the game because they've not been able to. Tielemans and Ndidi. They've been under so much pressure in this first half. Here's Evans to Pereira. Forward to Harvey Barnes. A little bit of room as Robertson's currently having to fill in at right back as he still wasn't able to switch over from the corner. They've gone over to Ndidi. It's now Evans as they're trying the right-hand side this time. The left-hand side of Liverpool. Amati. Back to Johnny Evans. Looks to find the ball forward. It's been deflected by Liverpool and it's fell straight to the path of Wijnaldum. They've worked it towards Thiago, who's again been tackled by Ndidi, but no foul deemed by the referee, but it fell to Mane anyway, and his pass has been intercepted by Pereira, who looks for a switch to the left-hand side. They need to keep it on the ground. They keep playing lifted balls. Brighton there, Albrighton there, tackled by Trent Alexander-Arnold, and a free kick. A throw-in will be given to Leicester on the right-hand side. I think Leicester have played more balls off the ground than they have on the ground, and that's quite worrying because it's so easy to preempt and cut out the lifted passes. Here's Amati with the throw-in though for Leicester. Hopefully for Leicester fans they'll get a good telling off by Rodgers, or they'll have a change of plan. So throw-in's gone down the line over Vardy's head and Robertson's, and Henderson can clear it away. Up towards Mane. It's Evans who heads it back forward, but it's Thiago it falls to and he helps it on. Towards, I think, Mane again, but Sancho's the one there to win the ball back, and Leicester try to send it forward with Amati. Maddison flicks it onto Vardy. He's in behind and he's onside on the right-hand side of the box. He decides to shoot. Oh, he clatters the crossbar. Oh, what a chance for Jamie Vardy. I do not believe it. After 41.5 minutes of constant struggle for Leicester in this first half, they broke away with a ball forward by Amati, just flicked on by Maddison and with some great skill in kind of like the scorpion kick kind of way. Helped it to Vardy, who I think was onside. He got there ahead of Henderson. He broke into the box just on the right-hand side, so he either had to go near post or across. Decided to wrap his foot around it towards the centre of the goal, really. Didn't really go near or far post. A little bit too much power on it. And like I said, thundered off the crossbar, and Vardy should have scored. It would have been, for me, an undeserved lead, but they're the chances you've got to take if you want the Champions League football come the end of the season. In the big games, if you get a chance, you've got to take them, and Vardy didn't. And they look to come forward again with Tielemans poking it forward towards Vardy, cut out by Wijnaldum, falls to Robertson. It's now Henderson, who did lose Vardy then in that passage of play, but they did get away with it, because Vardy has scored 7 goals in 12 appearances before today against Liverpool. Yes, he's only won 2. One of those 2 games was in the title win at home at the King Power. I don't know if you remember that volley he scored past Simon Mignolet. So he does like a goal against Liverpool, despite not winning too many of them. But that was a goal he should have scored, a chance he should have scored. But Mane can score if he wants to, and he's been brought down on the edge of the box by Evans as he looked bearing down on goal. Yellow card for the Northern Irish centre-back, and rightly so. Mane received the ball and he thought, I'm going to take it upon myself to just run at this defence because they do look a little uneasy. He got past 2 Leicester players before taking on Evans, and he went on the outside of Evans and he just kind of left their left leg trailing, and that took down Mane, and for once that wasn't a dive. He did completely take out Sadio Mane, and a free kick he will be given, and from the opposite ends hitting the crossbar to then a minute later conceding a free kick around 20 yards away from goal on the right hand side of the box, which looks like it's a great opportunity to score. Leicester's fortunes could be switching drastically and very quickly. Like I said, Vardy then, when he got in behind Maddison with a great, like I said, like scorpion kind of kick flick on to Vardy, he could take it in his path and really should have scored. From the possibility of going 1-0 up, they have got a strong possibility of going 1-0 down. Trent Alexander-Arnold looks to be taking it. It's more suited for the left footer, but I think it'll be Trent to take, because if he can wrap it around the wall or lift it over the wall, this could cause danger for Leicester. Schmeichel staying on the opposite side of the goal, trusting the wall he has assembled here. On the edge of the box, it's Trent Alexander-Arnold, who looks to be taken. He looks the more viable candidate. Salah is also over it. It'll be Arnold to take. It hits the wall. It deflects away by a outstretched foot of a Leicester player and goes back towards the halfway line to Robertson, who has to work it to Alisson. As Evans is feeling the repercussions of that challenge. I think the weight and the speed of Mane was going at has injured his left leg, which he left trailing. And Marty's heading the way of a forward ball, and it's now a ball helped forward towards Vardy. Henderson lets go of his head. Vardy gets there. Good goalkeeping from Alisson to block off Vardy going past him, and he rolls out quickly to Trent Alexander-Arnold, and there could be a break on. Plays it forward to Mohamed Salah, one-on-one with Pereira. Tries to go inside, cut out, goes back towards Salah. Good slide challenge from the Portuguese, throwing for Liverpool. Good chance again from Leicester. They're just getting a few chances at the end of this first half. Vardy broke there again ahead of Henderson. Couldn't quite take it around the keeper, and if he did, I think that's 1-0 to Leicester. 1 minute of added on time. Got 35 seconds left of that, and it's with Henderson over to Robertson as they worked it from right to left. Henderson again. We know he can pick a pass. He looked to try and go for one there, but opted against it, went over to Kabak, who's had a great first 45 minutes in his debut. No, it's not an easy place to go when you have to come up against the likes of Harvey Barnes, Jamie Vardy, James Maddison. It's not easy. It's Kabak, brings it forward, lays it into Arnold. First time ball around the corner to Salah. He's outstrengthening Soyuncu, and he's in behind there, down the byline. Right-footed crossing, deflects in the box, and Evans can cut out and find Pereira. And he plays it forward to Harvey Barnes. We've played the minute. I've added on time as Barnes looks to bring the ball forward. Clattered down to the ground by Wijnaldum. And I think that's going to be half-time anyway. I think a free kick was given, but there was no time to take it. And it was just inside the Liverpool half, so no real chance would have been made of it anyway. Nice half-time. Leicester 0, Liverpool 0. I'm quite shocked there hasn't been a goal, especially on Liverpool's side, because they've been phenomenal in that first half. Leicester have really struggled, and if they want to be in the Champions League next year, these are the games they have to be more into. They have to be doing better. You know, in the reverse fixture this season at home at Anfield, they got beat 3-0, and that was the game people saying, ooh, could this Liverpool home record be beaten? And they just collapsed, and they were battered, I'd say, in that game. The one before that, like I mentioned before, they were beat 4-0 here last season. One of the main reasons why they didn't get Champions League. Season before that, they lost 2-1 at Anfield, you know. So in their recent history, they've really, I think, bottled it when Liverpool have come to town. Or they've gone to Liverpool. So they need to sort it out. Liverpool, I think it was more the press from Liverpool there that made them look so good. It was just unstoppable. It really was unstoppable. They just kept going and going and going, and Leicester really couldn't break out their own half, and it was only near the end of the half where they actually created a few chances, and that was just from hopeful balls through the channels. And there was two for Vardy, where the first one was the better chance. He got ahead of Henderson, took a touch, right-footed, wrapped his foot around it, and he hit the crossbar, which I think, from Vardy, I think he got a bit too excited and should have scored. And then there was a second one where he got ahead of Henderson again, looked to take on the goalkeeper, which was the right thing to do, try and go around Alisson, but the Brazilian said, no, thank you, my ball, and he took it away from him. So we're at 0-0, like I said. Liverpool have definitely been the better team, but who knows, if Leicester can grind out a 1-0 win or something, that's a huge win for their Champions League credentials, and a big blow for Liverpool, as they'd have to go 3 losses on the bounce. But yeah, that's the first half. On the channel, I know I was supposed to do a different commentary today, but I had to just change it up. But Champions League is back. Yes, you heard that right. It's back. Commentary on this channel, 8 o'clock. Tuesday, it's going to be Barcelona versus PSG. No Neymar for PSG, unfortunately, but we'll still see the likes of Messi, Mbappe. Them two mainly are the ones I'm interested in watching. You know, you've got your Griezmanns as well. But yeah, Mbappe is the main source of talent in that PSG team. So yeah, that's the commentary. 8 o'clock, Tuesday, the 16th of February. Make sure you are there. And then the one next Saturday, on the 20th, same time, Next week, Southampton versus Chelsea. 20th of February, 12:30. So same time as this one next week. Southampton versus Chelsea. And then in the midweek of that, I'm deciding to do on, I think, the 23rd. So that is Tuesday again. Atletico Madrid versus Chelsea. So we've got Chelsea's Premier League game and then their next game in the Champions League, which is against Atletico Madrid away, 8 o'clock. So the next few commentaries within the next 10 days. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. So including this one in the next 10 days. And then the one after the Atletico Madrid one, the weekend of that's on the 27th. So 2 weeks' time, same time, 12:30, Manchester City versus West Ham. So they're the updates for the next commentaries. But make sure you're here Tuesday. I love Champions League commentaries. I think they're my favourite. They're just great. Yeah, next one, 8 o'clock Tuesday, PSG. Well, Barcelona versus PSG. Very excited for it. Yeah, because the last Champions League commentary, when was it? Because obviously we haven't had Champions League football in a while. It was, well, we had a Europa League actually, so that's the last European one. Because I decided to do the Rangers ones, and they did really well. The last one getting me 2,600 views, which was absolutely mental. But in terms of Champions League, the last one was 3 months ago. Juventus versus Barcelona, I think it was. Yeah. That was on the 28th of October. It's like 4 months. Oh my days, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I'm excited for it though. You know, the Europe's best facing each other. Why wouldn't you want anything else? It's fantastic. So then that's the next commentary. So make sure you are here because it should be a good game. And obviously I'm doing the week after Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid. Thomas Tuchel's first game in charge of Chelsea in the Champions League. Let's actually have a look. So that's the 16th, and the week after we do. So the second legs. I'll probably just do the reverse games. So I'll do PSG v Barcelona and Chelsea Atletico Madrid again. You know, so we complete like the stories, if you know what I mean. There's no point doing Barcelona PSG and then doing Liverpool Leipzig. We might as well do the full 2 legs, so it kind of makes sense to do. And then after that, I think it's the quarterfinals, isn't it? I think it's exciting times. I love the Champions League. I love it. Absolutely love it. But yeah, in terms of this game, we've still got another 45 minutes. We are 0-0. I'll be shocked in every single way if this ends 0-0. I don't think it will. I think we've got goals in it. Like I said, Liverpool look the better team. But again, like I said at the end, Leicester have sneaked in a few times. Not many times, but when they have, they've been, gilt-edged chances. And especially that Vardy chance where he hit the bar, that should have been a goal. But Rodgers is going to have a good word of his team because they were stuck in their own half. They couldn't string passes together. They kept having to go long, and then the press of Liverpool won the ball back. And then then when they won the ball, they weren't stopping. They weren't going, let's keep the ball. They would go straight at Leicester. So it's been a real strange 45 minutes. Not the way I thought it would go. I thought Leicester being not like the better team in terms of form, because both of their forms have been a little bit sketchy the last couple of games. Like I say, Leicester have only won 1 of the last 4 games. So in terms of recent form, that's in the Premier League, by the way, it's not been too great. And obviously with Liverpool, they've won 2 of their last 5, losing 3. I thought Leicester, they've got, Liverpool coming to their own ground after losing 4-1 at home. They'd lost to Brighton the week before that. Let's go and put the game to them. But Liverpool had other ideas. They went, no, we're going to come at you instead with our pressing game, and you're not going to be able to handle it. And Leicester haven't. If Diego Jota doesn't come back from injury in the 2 weeks, I'm going to be mad. To be fair, I think Jota would actually be perfect for this game. Firmino is linking the play up nicely, but I think Jota, he'd be a bit more of a danger and a bit more of a threat. I think obviously Jota's had a great start to his Liverpool career. Unfortunately, the Liverpool fans cut short by injury for this season, but hopefully he's going to be back in the next week or so. But like I was saying there, with a chance there, I don't know if you remember the Schmeichel save that I said it was probably save of the season. The ball was helped in to the box by Henderson, but Henderson got it from a flick on by Mane, and it looks like Mane was offside, so I don't think the goal would have counted, but Henderson helped it back into the box, and it was flicked on again by Mane to Firmino, who was about 5 yards out of the back post, and he shot. Clear cut, clear, point blank range, good power, good accuracy, and then somehow Schmeichel was able to just get an arm out to it and stop it. I don't get how he did it, because I remember commentating, I remember the moment, and I thought Firmino would miss it or something, and he sent it behind him, because it just looked impossible to save the shot because it was so close and it looked so powerful. I just thought he'd miss it or something, and he sent it behind him. I don't know what I was thinking, but that save was unbelievable. I don't think it would have counted, but still can't take away the save that he made. That was unbelievable. When you watch the highlights, on YouTube afterwards or match of the day, you'll know what I mean. You'll know what I mean. I'm just going to try something before the second half, which is coming up very soon, to try and tell people when there's a change made. I'm going to just try something. It might not work. If it doesn't work, I'll look into it for the next commentary. What do I do? This is just an experiment of mine. Yeah, I'm just trying something just to let the people know that there's a change made. Because obviously Milner got subbed off due to an injury just picked up. When was that? When was it? 17th minute. Oh, God. Does that work? What do we think? What do we think? Let me know. I actually need feedback. Like, I know some people sit in the commentary and don't say anything, which is absolutely fine. I'm not too bothered. If you're here to just to listen, not contribute, that is fine. Again, I'm not bothered. But does that look good? What I've just done for the subs. So when there's a change, I'll do that. I need to know. Even if you don't usually like putting things in the chat, literally just say like, yeah, good. It looks good or something. Because if people like that, then I can start doing that when there's a sub made, so people know if they join the stream late or they don't know what's going on in the game, they know that Thiago's come on for Milner in the 17th minute. If you don't like it, then I don't know what I'm going to do. So, yeah. So you can just put something in the chat saying it looks alright. And that would be much appreciated. Wait, the second half will be underway in just a couple minutes' time. Okay, right. Forgot to actually check if my mic sounded okay at the start of the stream. That's quite fortunate that it did. So yeah, if you can just let me know if anyone is in here, that'd be great. Yeah, I think that looks okay. I just need to remember to do it. That's the main thing for me. My memory. People who know me personally know that my memory is shocking. So yeah, I'll probably forget. But for now, that looks good. That looks good. We're interested as well to see if Leicester make a change, because they've not. I think they need to change something. So yeah, well, okay, right. No one's saying anything, so I'm presuming it looks okay. Let's get the timer ready. Let's just hope for some goals anyway. Let's hope for goals. I was very surprised there wasn't a goal in that first half, to be fair. But yeah, kick-off. There wasn't much time added on, so kick-off should really be starting by now. Hopefully the next 30 to 40 seconds. Because I want this game back on the way. I want to see how it unfolds. I want to see if there's any changes. Teams are getting back out onto the pitch at the King Power. It's Leicester's 560th game in the Premier League as a club. 188 wins, 148 draws and 223 losses. So now compare that to Liverpool, who have played before today 1,110 Premier League games as a club, winning 572 games and obviously winning one Premier League, which was last season in the 1920 season, which they won by 99 points, not quite reaching the tally of Manchester City's team back in 2017-2018 season, where they did hit the 100 points. A Gabriel Jesus late winner against Southampton in a 1-0 win secured that. So the Leicester team are now coming back onto the field. Schmeichel leading the way. Evans, who was suffering with a little bit of an injury after colliding with Mane for a foul he did commit. He seems to have shook that off and he should be okay to continue. Still moving a little bit gingerly, but I think he'll be okay. Johnny Evans. I won't be surprised if he gets taken off, but if he gets taken off, the main question is, who for? Because what I'd do is, I'd put Amati at centre-back, I'd bring on Luke Thomas, I'd swing Pereira back out to the right-back in normal position, I'd put Luke Thomas at left-back. But Evans is okay for now, so that's not needed. We're about to get back underway. Liverpool kicking off, kicking right to left, Leicester left to right. Can we get some goals? Let's hope so. There'll be Curtis Jones to kick off for us. Referee blows the whistle. Curtis Jones back to Henderson. Over to the left-hand side towards Mane. Header won by Ndidi. Only as far as Robertson, who lets it run out for a throw-in for Liverpool, and we are back underway at the King Power. Robertson with the throw-in. Time up. Oh my days, how have I done that? Thrown by Robertson, he's got it back and he gets it to Firmino. Dispossessed by Maddison, and then Wijnaldum's there to help out and he wins the ball back for Liverpool. Good play from the Dutch midfielder, had to get there for his team because Maddison nearly nicked the ball away, but Alisson's poor clearance means Harvey Barnes can get the ball, and then again he's been tackled by Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Liverpool have the ball back with Salah, who can't quite go inside to Thiago. Leicester have won it back. Harvey Barnes on the left, tries to go inside towards Pereira. Pass intercepted by Kabak. It's now Arnold. Down the line. Out of play. Here we go. Come on. Again, Evans. He's not going to be last, is he? He will come off. Evans will come off. Trent gets it towards Mane. He misses it, but it does fall, thankfully, for Robertson, and quite kindly, actually. Robertson brings it forward. Has to hold it up. And finds Mane. Gets so beyond the challenge of Tielemans. As he works it towards the right-hand side. He's being pressured by Ndidi, and he's able to release the ball in time to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Finds Thiago. Strong challenge for Soyuncu, but he's able to work it to Salah. Ball down the line for Arnold. Tries to backheel it into Salah, intercepted by Ndidi. And he has the ball in the box, and he needs to get it away, and he just about does. Up towards Vardy. Henderson cuts it out, and he falls to Thiago. He finds Robertson. We're on the left-hand side here. Robertson gets past Albrighton and shifts it to Curtis Jones on the edge of the box. Is he going to fancy a shot here? He does, and it's blocked by Youri Tielemans. Jordan Henderson now has it. Zips in into Robertson on the left. He's got a chance to get a cross in. He does so. It's flicked on by Amati, and Pereira's there to stop it from reaching Mohamed Salah. And Vardy holds it up and he touches it with his hand accidentally, but the referee has to give a free kick there as he tries to control it. It did just bounce off his hand. And it looks like Cheng is under. Will be coming on for Leicester. His shin pads are getting put on. It's Jones inside to Firmino on the right hand side. Can't get it back to Curtis Jones. Being dispossessed by Barnes. And he's got it to Vardy. Barnes is making a run and he's got there over the top. Has he? He's been brought down by Trent Alexander-Arnold and a free kick's been given by Anthony Taylor. We know we can be a little bit of a liability at the back, Arnold defensively. Ball by Vardy was a great ball, chipped down the line, and I think Barnes has played for it. Initiating the... To be fair, he was pulled down. His left arm was pulled. So it's fairly been given as a free kick. It went down a bit softly, but there was definitely more contact than some of Salah's challenges today. But on the left-hand side, on the angle, around 30 yards away from goal, this is a great chance for Maddison to get a cross into the box here and really ask some questions of this Liverpool defence. They've got the likes of Evans in there who's still hobbling on, Soyuncu as well, Jamie Vardy who's always a presence, but it's Maddison to take, looking for his 7th assist, his 4th assist in his last 4 games. Maddison to cross. The referee just having a word with some of the players as they are bundled just on the edge of the box. Maddison crosses it in and everyone it goes past, and Alisson can collect and try and take a quick one and just gets it through the crowd. It does fall to Tielemans, but very lucky there. He didn't get any height on it and he just went right through the crowd, and Leicester can have it back with Harvey Barnes now. He's got it from Maddison. Keeps the ball away from Robertson and gets it back to Maddison, who takes a touch and he's been clattered to the ground by, I think that is Curtis Jones, is that? No, it's Andy Robertson. And the free kick's been given on the edge of the box. This is more in shooting range now. Yeah, Robertson, yeah, clipped Maddison. Rightly given as a free kick. And it's in a similar area in terms of on the pitch, in terms of on the left-hand side. It's just about 5 or 10 yards further forward. I said it's more for a shot. A bit more of a tighter angle for a shot, so he might opt to go for another cross. I can't believe Evans is still on the pitch, to be honest. He's still hobbling. I know they don't have an actual centre-back on the bench as a replacement, but Amati can play at centre-back if needs be. But I think it'll be a cross. Another high line for Liverpool, just above the penalty spot. It'll be Maddison to take. Like I said, he's looking to add to his assists. He's already got this season. He's already got 10 in all competitions. Already in double figures. James Maddison runs at it, lifts it in. I think it's cleared away by Henderson. Goes to Tielemans, who helps it back over to Maddison, who pulls it across towards Vardy, and it falls to Alisson. And he can roll it quickly out to the left-hand side, where it'll be Arnold to play it down the line. It's poor. Or Brighton can put the ball back in towards the box. No real accuracy, and Alisson again can collect and throw it quickly to Mohamed Salah. Finds Curtis Jones, who has to hold it up. And he gets past Pereira nicely and gets it back forward to Salah. Beautiful play from Curtis Jones. Salah back inside to Jones on the edge of the box on his left foot. He'll lay it off to Mane. Once more over to Robertson, who decides to hit it first time. Doesn't really get the contact he wanted on the ball. And that goes well over the bar and out for a goal kick for Leicester City. This first 6 minutes has been a little bit more open. Leicester have been slightly on top, but I wouldn't read too much into that because this game can change very quickly. But here's Maddison's ball in. I think it was actually Wijnaldum who's got the foot there. He did a synchronised clearance with Henderson, actually. They both did the same motion to clear it, but Maddison should have done better with the ball across there, which Alisson was able to collect. Vardy tried to get there, but Alisson was down quick enough to stop that from being a chance. And Thiago's got it for Liverpool, as Leicester have already lost the ball from the goal kick. Wijnaldum to Robertson. Down the line it goes to Mane. Helps it back onto Robertson. A heavy touch forward, trying to get him behind. It's a little bit too heavy. Good thinking from Robertson, but Evans is there to cut it out and finds his goalkeeper, Schmeichel. Sends it forward towards Vardy, who can't head it down. It's Henderson who does so, but it falls to Tielemans, and his ball, looking for Maddison's, been intercepted by Kabak. And he now finds Arnold. A dinked ball to Curtis Jones on the right. Hooked over everyone's head looking for Mane. Header won by Soyuncu. Away for a throw in for Liverpool. Cengiz Under, who was actually getting ready to come on, is now sat back down. It looked like he was getting his shin pads on ready to come on, but no. Not yet. Not too early. Rodgers wants to be careful with how many changes he makes and when he does them. Pereira's cleared it off Arnold out for a Leicester throw in towards the corner flag in the left back area. Like I said, struggling for goals against Brighton. Leicester did struggle as well. I did watch that game, knowing I was obviously commentating on this game. Yeah, they really struggled, and surprisingly as well for Leicester, who have got United in the quarter-finals, they've actually never won the FA Cup in their history. They have won 7 trophies, one of them being the Premier League, and not one of them being the FA Cup. As Leicester bring it forward, Vardy, who gets it from Maddison. Kabak, great slide challenge. And he wins it back for Liverpool, and Thiago brings it forward. Distribute to the left-hand side to Robertson. He's got Mane in support, he's got Firmino as well, and he will find Firmino. He's able to turn, and look for Curtis Jones, doesn't find him, but the clearance from Soyuncu's gone straight to Wijnaldum. Work to Mane on the left. One-on-one with Marco Brighton. Decides to cut inside, and dink a ball in, which has been deflected off Youri Tielemans. Schmeichel shouts for the ball, and Pereira leaves it for him, and he will collect Kasper Schmeichel. It's now Daniel Amati on the right-hand side, forced back to his goalkeeper here. Kasper Schmeichel has only ever kept 1 clean sheet against Liverpool in his career. Will he make it 2 and double that? Soyuncu cuts the ball away from Salah and goes to the edge of the box to Tielemans. A scuffed left-footed clearance goes straight to Alexander-Arnold. And it's now Wijnaldum who recycles to Kabak. It's now Henderson to Robertson. Back to Henderson. He finds Alisson, signed in 2018 from Roma, after Liverpool knocked out Alisson's Roma in the Champions League to get to the final, which they were beaten by Real Madrid 3-1. It was 2 Karius errors. Talking about 2 errors, last week Alisson's errors were quite disappointing to see from a goalkeeper's perspective. Really poor. But what is poor is Liverpool giving the ball away. And what's even more poor is Albrighton's pass through to Vardy. That was shocking. Easily intercepted by Henderson. Counter-attack over, and Robertson will look to counter the counter-attack with Firmino. Jones, poor touch, is just about able to keep it and then loses it again. With Tielemans being able to get it back into the last possession, with Maddison forcing it back to Soyuncu. Over to Evans, too much on the ball. And Mane has it in towards the corner flag, and he's got the ball quickly into Jones, who's got the better angle. Slowly lays the ball into Robertson. Now Jones again to Mane. One-on-one with Evans. He's going to look inside on the edge of the box, and he finds Thiago. Touch is poor. Won back by Ndidi, and it's now all Brighton. Counter-attack is on. Poor touch. What is this? What am I watching from Leicester? What's going on? Arnold, Salah, brings it away from Pereira and is brought down in a beautiful area for a free kick. This has got to have Arnold's name written all over it. He scored so many free kicks like this. His first goal for Liverpool was a free kick against Hoffenheim in the Champions League qualifiers in the season they got to Kiev, which were beaten in the final by Madrid. I just don't get it. From Leicester's point of view anyway, it's quite far out actually. It's around 25, 26 yards out. But in last week's commentary, we saw Ward-Prowse bang one in from about 30 yards out, so who knows? Yeah, all Brighton, just a sloppy ball. I just don't understand it. You know, Leicester are all good all season. They come up against a decent opponent and they struggle to pass the ball. It's been all game. They've struggled to make simple 5-10 yard passes, but when they go away to City at the Etihad, they win 5-2. Unbelievable. Anyway, Trent Alexander-Arnold fancies chances. Schmeichel's moved all the way over towards the wall side, and it's hit the crossbar. I think it's the post actually. Arnold with the ball flying towards the goal, and it's just hit the post. Schmeichel scrambling. Henderson heads it back forward. Firmino gets it to Wijnaldum, who helps it towards Mane, cut out by the head of Amati. And it falls to Mane, who's been pressured by Amati and Albrighton, but works his way past both of them, but not past Tielemans. And here's Albrighton. Down the line. It's another woeful pass. I don't understand it. I'd get Albrighton off. He's not really been good all game. And that's another ball that's found its way back straight back to Liverpool. I'm not sure if Liverpool's free kick there with Arnold hit the bar or post. I think it was the post, but it could have hit the bar as well. Henderson. Robertson on the halfway line. Jones back to Robertson. To Jones again, who's entered the Liverpool half this time. Turns very nicely and finds Thiago. Not forcing any passes. Goes to the centre-back Jordan Henderson, who they'll be very excited to get back in that midfield. But for now, he's at the back and he's found Mane. He skipped past Amati. Works the left-footed cross into the box, headed away by Pereira. Trent heads it back in to the danger area. No Liverpool shirts were there. And Schmeichel can collect. Let's have a look. Whips it over. Oh, it took a deflection onto the crossbar. So it was the crossbar. It came off the head of Jamie Vardy. That looped it onto the crossbar. Well, here they are with Salah in the box. Pulls it in towards Firmino. Cut out by Evans. Left-footed ball to Maddison. Now they need to make the most of this. Maddison to Albrighton. Will he make it 3 in a row? No, he goes simple. Back to Amati this time. Lays it back into the goalkeeper. But yeah, it was the crossbar it hit. Deflected off the head of Jamie Vardy. As it's Pereira on the left. Inside to Tielemans. It's a short ball, but Tielemans just gets it back to Ricardo Pereira. And we've now got Soyuncu dinking it to Amati. Chested down. And a left-footed ball back to Evans. Just on the edge of the 18-yard box. He's going to go for a left-footed switch himself. Back over to Pereira, who's got a bit of time on the ball. Helps it into Harvey Barnes. Tackled by Trent Alexander-Arnold. And a throw-in for Leicester it'll be. Can they push up the pitch a little bit? Callum, are you alright, mate? I'm fine. How are you? I'm enjoying some good football here. If you haven't liked, please do, and you haven't subscribed, also do that. It does help massively. As Henderson cuts out a Leicester pass towards Vardy, and they get it towards Mane. He's been tackled by Amati, but his challenge has gone straight to Robertson. He looks to go around Albrighton and work the ball to Mane, and he's completed a 1-2, but it's cut out by Amati. Robertson's touch, and it's now with Ndidi to Tielemans. Ndidi over to Amati. Now with Evans, who's looked to have ran off that injury a little bit more. Soyuncu. 7th start in the league this season. Work to Maddison. Harvey Barnes. Gets it through the legs of Arnold and it works it to Pereira. Back to goal. He's being pressed by Thiago and he's won the ball, says the referee. And I think he did. And he's got it to Salah, who will charge forward. Soyuncu, he's been given too much of that and he batters the ball the way out towards the substitutes in the Leicester area. Salah there could have been in, but his touch was too heavy and just offered too much of the ball to Soyuncu and he just swiped the ball away from him. But the main chance we've had in this game is the Firmino shot on Schmeichel, which I think was offside anyway, so I don't think it would have counted, and then the Vardy crossbar hit as well. We have got a throw for Liverpool of Arnold, thrown down the line, chested away by Soyuncu and helped on by Salah back to Arnold. His pass forward has been intercepted and it goes backwards to Thiago, who helps it all the way over to Alisson. To Henderson, who brings it forward. Into Andy Robertson, finds Mane. He's got a few options, but a lot of blue shirts in front of him. And he just goes over to the right to Wijnaldum. We've now found Trent Alexander-Arnold inside towards Thiago, who's in the box. Stopped in his tracks by Ndidi. And in the left-back area for Leicester, he's just dinked the ball forward to the left-back Pereira, who helps on with a left boot down the line, only as far as Wijnaldum, who hooks it over the head of Barnes to Arnold, and he looks for a switched volley. What a ball towards Robertson. It's had to be flicked behind for a corner by Albrighton. Great creativity there from Arnold on like the half volley to even attempt that pass was audacious. And to actually nearly find the target, and he was finding the target, it's just Albrighton had tracked his runner all the way into the box to help it behind for a corner. Arnold to take, the man who probably single-handedly won the corner with the pass, causing Albrighton to help it behind. He's got an in-swinging corner. Can they make the most of it? We've got 29 minutes to go, plus added on time that we will be given at the end of the game. To go. Crossed in. Oh, it's dangerous, and that should have been a goal. Right on the 6-yard box, Leicester players are complaining. They think that should be a goal kick. A corner's been given. Put in towards the near post. It's Firmino who went for it. Let's have a look. Who did that come off last? Oh, I don't know really, to be honest. They'd have to slow that down, but a corner's been given. It'll be Arnold to take. They're taking it short with Jones back to Arnold. A reverse ball down the line towards Henderson. Back to goal. So has to force it towards Curtis Jones again. Will he work a cross in? He does with the left foot. Headed away by Tielemans. It falls to Evans, who has to clear. Does so in time, but it falls to Tielemans, who can't take it in his path. Barnes can, but he's been dispossessed by Henderson. And they look to come straight back at Leicester with Salah to Henderson, who's made an overlapping run, crossed in, headed away by Pereira towards Maddison. Can he hold it up? He can to Tielemans. He's been again dispossessed by Wijnaldum. And it's now Salah again to Henderson. To slow down as they are quite away from goal. All the way back to the halfway line with, I think it's Kabak. Henderson to Robertson. It's over to Kabak. To Thiago. Now found Salah. Back to Thiago again. No real movement from Liverpool. Just taking their time. Just letting the ball do the work. Again, Kabak, who again, like I've said throughout the whole game, he's had a really strong debut. That could be the turning point in Liverpool's season. Having a good, strong centre-back fit. They've won a throw-in here as Arnold tried to go inside towards Salah, but he took a quick throw-in. Sancho heads it back towards Thiago, who can't take it under control. Unless he can try and work it away with Barnes. He gets it to Ndidi. Left-footed ball down the line to Vardy, who's just... Oh no, it's to Maddison, who's just gone out wide, and he's worked the ball over to Evans. A touch. And a left-footed ball forward. Again, it's really poor towards Vardy. And Henderson can bring it forward with a pass to Arnold. He's continued his run. Arnold opts against, passing it back to him, and they've got it over to Curtis Jones, to the left-back Robertson. Jones. To Henderson. But Vardy has been literally playing on dead scraps here. He's been given not too much other than 2 chances that he probably should have scored from, to be honest. But in terms of actually getting the ball up to him to hold it up, not even getting it up to him to create a chance, but just for him to hold it up, he's not been able to do it. He's barely had any touches of the ball. Firmino, great hold-up play to get it to Curtis Jones on the left. He's got a chance to shoot, but decides to go for a cross towards the back post. Salah was coming in late. A little bit too late because Schmeichel was able to get the ball and collect and get it for Leicester. Got it from the centre of the pitch there. Look to find Salah on the far post. Too much on it from Curtis Jones. Klopp isn't happy with it and wants better from his team. 64 minutes played exactly. Still 0-0. Schmeichel played towards Amati. Heads it on centrally to Vardy, who lays it into Maddison. Offside is Jamie Vardy. The linesman has his flag up. Attack has ended there straight away. After playing the same amount of games, Leicester have 2 more wins than Liverpool. But Leicester have lost 6, and that's the most in the top 4 at the minute. 6 losses. And to be fair, Liverpool have only lost 5 themselves. But with that, Liverpool don't mind a draw. They've had 7 draws this season. That's the 3rd most in the league. In the whole league. Not in the top half, not in the top 4, whatever. The whole league, they've got the 3rd most draws. So that's probably why their point tally's kind of just halted as it is. They're not being able to pick up those 2 extra points by winning games. Firmino's hooked it in towards the edge of the box to Robertson, helped on by Albrighton, only as far as Henderson. All outfield players in the Leicester half at the minute. As Henderson looks to find a switch to Arnold, and he finds him nicely in the final third, and he takes on Harvey Barnes the first time, but not a second time. Pereira has it. In the box is Ndidi, who outmuscles Arnold and brings the ball away to Barnes again, getting the ball stuck under his feet. And it falls to Thiago, who can bring it away. Hooks it in towards Firmino, helps it on to Arnold as he beats the on-rushing Soyuncu, and it's back to Firmino on the right-hand side. Ball inside towards Arnold, cut out by Pereira, and it now finds Ndidi, who can try and work it away. He finds Soyuncu, ball down the line towards Barnes, cut out by Thiago, and a throw, and it'll be for Leicester, and they can have a little bit of breathing room. So it's an interesting game to watch at the minute. You don't really know who's going to take this, if any team will take it. Could have a 0-0. We've had 25 draws in this fixture. In the previous 115 meetings, 6 of them have been in the Premier League. Because they've had 29 Premier League meetings. Liverpool winning 16 of them, 7 of them being away from Anfield. So an Amati pass has been intercepted by Robertson, and he can charge down the left. He's got loads of green grass to run into. Tielemans is trying to cover, and he covers very well. Tackles Robertson. He was looking very dangerous there, Robertson. The Belgian midfielder can bring it away and then switch it towards Barnes. Poor ball. Easy interception for Arnold. He's on the edge. He's going to fancy a shot, and he will go for it. Blocked by Soyuncu, but it falls straight back to the right back, who pulls it into the box to Firmino. Works it to Salah, who decides to shoot, and it's a beautiful Liverpool goal. Mohamed Salah, the top goal scorer in the Premier League, has added another one to his collection. It's 17 for the season. Leicester players are complaining about something. I'm not sure what it is, but that's all come from a sloppy, misplaced Leicester pass. It's been the story of the game. Misplaced pass after misplaced pass constantly. And they've had to pay for one. Arnold collected one of them. Shot once, blocked by Soyuncu. Fell off Salah, back to Arnold. Got it into Firmino. Great skill there. Kind of a roulette pass. Into Salah, who guided it first time into the far post. Beautiful pass from Firmino. Guided it first time. No thinking. Into that far post. Nestles into the corner of the goal. And for me, that is a goal that's been waiting to happen since kickoff. We're 67.5 minutes in. It is Leicester 0, Liverpool 1. And we are underway with Barnes down the left-hand side. Losing the ball with a throw-in. Arnold already sending it down the line towards Salah. Tackled. But it falls to Firmino. And he gets the ball to be threaded through to Salah. He's one-on-one with Soyuncu. Just on the edge of the box at the minute. Holds it up. Needs to release it. He's been tackled by Barnes, who's been able to get it to the goalkeeper. And he's avoided the corner there, out for a throw-in. 1-0 it is. I don't know what Leicester were complaining at. I don't really know. The goal was given. And a deserved lead Liverpool have. Very, very deserved lead, if I say so myself. It's his fourth goal, Salah, in this fixture. Doesn't mind playing against Leicester, as they've tackled Barnes in a dangerous area, and Thiago just goes backwards to Jordan Henderson. As even though they're 1-0 up, they still are the dominant side of all the ball. Robertson inside towards Curtis Jones, can't hold it up. It's now all Brighton. Leicester need changes, and I don't think they're making any at the minute. With Schmeichel sending it forward again, straight to Robertson. Headed away by Evans. Nod down to Tielemans by Albrighton. Back to Albrighton. Helps inside. Another misplaced Albrighton pass. Thiago it goes to. Curls ball out wide right to Salah. Brings it down beautifully. One-on-one with Pereira. Cuts inside onto his left. Plays it inside to Mane. Hooks it over towards Thiago. Headed away by Amati. And then Soyuncu with a very, very intelligent headed ball back to the goalkeeper, where he can catch and collect. And he can throw it to Albrighton again. Odds on him losing the ball. He's actually kept it with with Tielemans. Indeedy. Leicester don't deserve anything from this game anyway, if I'm going to be completely honest. The fact that we stayed in it at 0-0 for 67 minutes was quite the feat, I thought, to be fair. Thanks to everyone who's here. If you are new, please subscribe and like. We've got 9 people in. Great to see. With Amati getting the ball down the line, cut out by Robertson, and he has to just hook it forward, hopelessly. Straight to Henderson, who then just launches it forward, back towards the striking partnership of Mane, Firmino and Salah, but it's Sainz who has it. Headed to Amati, brings it down and lays it into Evans, who has to hurriedly clear it, only as far as Robertson. Firmino inside to Wijnaldum, who will charge forward. He's going to keep going and lay it into Curtis Jones, can't quite take it under his control. And Maddison has it with Vardy. To Tielemans. Vardy's making a run. He's going to try and slip him through. Too much on it. Arnold covers Kabak and brings the ball forward and away. With a ball lifted in towards Jones, who just nods it on towards Firmino. Soyuncu gets there first. Indeed, can Leicester mount an attack with Harvey Barnes, who's not quite been what he can be as he looks to take on Kabak. And he's been brought down. And a free kick's been given, similar to where the last free kick was for Maddison on the edge of the box, right on the left-hand side. A Kabak yellow card. It's probably the first thing he's done wrong today, committing that foul and bringing down Barnes. Clever foul, to be honest. Knew what he was doing. Saw he wouldn't take the ball, so he took the man instead, stopping Barnes from getting down the byline and possibly cutting it back to Jamie Vardy. But a debut it is for Kabak and a first yellow card. Is that the things to come? As Perez is looking to get stripped off, ready to come on for Leicester for the last 20 or so minutes of the game. But can they score without him on the pitch? It's literally carbon copy of where that last free kick was for Maddison. That last one was cleared away by Wijnaldum. Can they do better this time? Obviously, Maddison stood over it. He's got a goal and an assist in this fixture. Can he add to that? We're going to find out. It's Maddison to take. Crossed in. It's dangerous and whipped, and it's straight into the hands of Alisson. It's just not clicked for Leicester today. They really need to look at their tactics when approaching a game against a big club in the league, because they've just really underperformed again today. As Robertson's fed it through to Firmino. He's got a bit of room to run into, but he's met by a charging Ndidi, and he's tackled him, and the ball tackled. It's gone all the way for a corner kick. Amati couldn't stop that from happening. But the goal again, Arnold's shot came off Soyuncu and Salah. And then it's this pass from Firmino. It's a roulette ball, a roulette pass into Salah. And then not even thinking about it, Salah. He's only got half a second to think, and he's going, I'm going to hit this first time. Guides it into the far corner, and it was just relief. All Liverpool players just let out a release of relief. Arnold did it, Robertson did it, and Klopp. Not celebration, they just shouted and screamed, just feeling all that pressure they put on Leicester finally paid off, as the Arnold corner has been headed away by Vardy, all the way as far as Robertson, who helps it back into the box, where it's gone over towards Firmino, who's coming in from an onside position, but it's Schmeichel who gets there first, rolls it quickly to Ndidi, finds Barnes, in towards Ndidi, tackled by Jones, but it falls to Tielemans, who will bring it forward. Again, he can't get the ball off his feet, but he's able to take the ball away from Thiago and Firmino. He's done really well there, Tielemans. And he's released Pereira on his weak side, has to cut backwards, then goes back forward, and he takes it past two Liverpool players. Can't get it past Kabak, though, and he concedes the corner kick. I think. Was it a corner? I think it was. He did well there, Pereira, because it looked like he was going to turn back, which he did, and then went back forward again. There was asks of if it went out, and I don't think it did. Charged down the byline, and Kabak saw it down the line and had to just concede the corner in the end. Perez is on. Number 17. For Marco Brighton, who's been probably the worst player on the pitch, I'm going to be honest. He's really underperformed Marco Brighton today. So with Maddison to take, they need to try and make something Leicester. They've just been so poor today. The fact they're still in it, 1 goal down, is a blessing for them. Taking it. Maddison. It's a lifted ball in towards Ndidi, all the way past everyone. And Arnold can see that for a goal kick. He went for a lifted ball towards the back post, and you thought he could have made something of it, Ndidi, but just was too far past him for him to make anything of it. And we've got another change. It's for Liverpool this time. It's their second one, and it's Chamberlain. I'm not sure who he's going to replace. We'll find out soon. It's going to be for Curtis Jones, who I think's had a good game, if I'm going to be honest. Chamberlain is on. So Alisson to take the goal kick, the number 1 for Liverpool, who is on his way to keeping another clean sheet, be 42 in 87 Premier League games. It's Henderson's got it around the corner towards Mane, but it's Amati who gets there for Leicester, and he's giving it to Schmeichel, and a lifted ball back to him. He's been chested down, and he laid it off to Evans, who just has to hoof it forward. And he's been flipped on by Vardy to Barnes, who can look forward. Can he get past Arnold? He can, on the left-hand side. Henderson's having to cover. He just goes inside to Maddison. He's got Tielemans. Oh, Tielemans was there, but he's tried to go to Vardy, and it's been intercepted by Thiago, and Firmino looks to bring it forward. In the Liverpool half, he's won it back indeed, off Firmino, and they've already worked it to Harvey Barnes. Can he work his magic? He goes inside, he's been brought down. Penalty! I said, can Barnes work his magic? And he's done just that. He tried to go inside both Arnold and Thiago. Got sandwiched in between. Let's have a look. Brought down by both of them. Is it in the box? He's coming in from the left-hand side. Inside. Oh, I don't know, you know. VAR's going to have to check that. When is the contact? Is it on the line? I feel like the referee has to give a penalty and then allow VAR to check. Where is the contact made? It looks like it's on the edge to me. Is it? It's definitely a foul. That is definitely a foul. It's just if it's in the box or not. VAR, if Stuart Atwell's got a massive decision to make. Because Vardy's got the ball in his hands ready to take a penalty. Well won from Barnes. We've been waiting for that all game from a Leicester point of view. Running Arnold. He's not had the better at Arnold all game until now. They have to take the time with this VAR because they've got to get it right. They've got Peter Walton on BT Sport talking through it. I'm not an experienced Premier League referee. But for me, that looks on the edge of the box. I can't quite see where the foot is. It's the knee, I think, of Barnes. If the knee's on the line, then it's a penalty. Oh, it's a penalty! Oh no, it's a free kick. I didn't know where Anthony Taylor was on the pitch. He pointed downwards, but he was on the edge. Yeah, he was on the edge of the box, I think. Just though, it was close. So no penalty for Vardy. It's a free kick for Maddison instead. It looks like he'd pointed down for a penalty. But it was just down for where the free kick was. That's my mistake, I apologise. Anyway, right on the edge again. Maddison, this is a great chance. I think he should shoot towards the far post. And if it goes straight in, it goes straight in. If there's a flick on or if there's a deflection, who knows where it goes. But it's Maddison to take what was a penalty. Instead, it's a free kick. It's been zipped and it's gone all the way through and it's in. I said he has to just shoot towards the far post and hope for the best. He's done just that. And Maddison has got it in. I don't think it touched anyone. No one's claiming it from a Leicester point of view because I know Soyuncu was rushing on looking for a touch. Oh, it's offside. The linesman's give it. So was there a touch? Oh, it's tight. Did it touch anyone? Oh, Amati's gone to kick it, but is Amati offside? I don't know. Amati, no one's touched it. Amati has gone to play the ball. And he was offside. Is it disallowed? They're checking. Amati's onside there for me. Oh, it's his shoulder. It's literally the end of his shoulder. That cannot be offside. That can't be offside. Onside. Goal given. It must be. It must be a goal for Leicester. And he went to play the ball, but he was onside, so it doesn't matter. He didn't touch it, but if you're on an offside position and you go and play the ball, it's offside because you're interfering with play. But he was interfering with play, but he was onside, and the goal's been given. A mad last 4 minutes in the game has resulted, eventually, in a Leicester City goal. Ball went all the way through the bodies. Amati went to try and get a touch on it. He missed it. And it went all the way to the far post. Like I said before the free kick was taken, I said Maddison's got to wait for that far post and hope it goes all the way through and in. And it did do just that. Somehow, after a very eventful last couple of minutes, with 10 minutes to go, it's Leicester 1, Liverpool 1. And Klopp raises a smile because what I've just witnessed is mental. Leicester had a penalty, then they didn't. They had a free kick, which went in, and then they didn't. And then they did eventually have the goal. And Maddison is the one who's going to have to claim it because it didn't touch Amati in the end. That's why the goal's been given. He was onside anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's Leicester 1, Liverpool 1. And after all that drama, we're all level in this game between third and fourth. Crazy. Tielemans heads it forward towards Vardy. It's Henderson who picks it up, and they've worked it to Robertson. Goes inside to Mane, flicked it on towards Firmino's path. Cut out by Leicester, but only as far as Wijnaldum. To Robertson, swings it into Mane, pushed to the ground by Evans. The referee says there's nothing wrong with that. And Maddison can try and help it away. Indeed, he's the one who scuffs a clearance. It comes off Maddison without even knowing, and it falls to Tielemans. He goes for a switch. It's lofted towards Barnes. Alisson's come for it. There's a mix-up between him and Kabak. Vardy's in behind. He's got an open goal, and he scores for Leicester. I don't believe the turnaround we've had in this game in the last couple minutes. Vardy takes the corner flag, and he uses it like an electric guitar. And a mix-up between the new centre-back signing and Alisson had cost Leicester... Well, it's cost Liverpool what could be 3 points. Gifted it to Leicester. Klopp can't believe it. There's no smile on his face anymore. He can't believe it. The last 4 minutes has been unbelievable. From Liverpool being in cruise control, Leicester can't even get into their own half. Tielemans, just a hopeful ball towards Barnes. Alisson and Kabak, miscommunication. And Vardy dribbled it to the 6-yard line and he just poked it into the back of the net. He couldn't miss. He wouldn't miss. That's 8 goals now against Liverpool for Vardy. Oh, it's calamitous. It's another error for Alisson and Kabak. And somehow, after what's been quite a dreadful Leicester performance up until the 77th minute, they've somehow took a 2-1 lead. Crazy how football works. Absolutely crazy. Leicester 2, Liverpool 1. And a stylish celebration with the corner guitar. And Alisson's going to be scratching the head again. As Klopp shouts, keep going to his team. But after such events, that's just happened. It's going to be quite hard for Liverpool to try and get their edge screwed back on. But we are back underway with Robertson at left back. Down the line to Mane. Inside to Chamberlain, who's lost the ball to Tielemans. And it's now Ndidi looking to bring it away. He's getting pressure, but he's worked it to Maddison. Left-footed ball over the top for Vardy. He's just on the edge of the box on the far right-hand side, in towards the corner flag. He crosses it off the hand of Henderson. And it's going to be given as a free kick. I think the linesman's give. Oh, what? Oh, is Vardy offside? I think Vardy was offside from the pass. It definitely came off the hand of Henderson. But I think Vardy was offside from the Maddison pass. So they took the free kick quickly and they've worked it to Arnold. He can't get past Maddison. And Harvey Barnes can take over on the left-hand side. He won the free kick and he's done the same thing again. He's got past 3 Liverpool players. He decides to shoot. Saved. Falls to Vardy. Oh, what a save from Alisson. He can get it away with Thiago. Oh, my days. This game's burst into life. How has that not gone in? Thiago brings it away. Firmino on the left-hand side. To Mane. Vardy had an open goal. And Alisson from the Barnes save was able to get up quickly enough and avoid it. And I think he turned it onto the post. Leicester from literally playing so poorly to really looking to go 2 goals up. With Ndidi winning the ball back in the midfield. Cleared away down the line. Vardy takes it into his stride. He lays it into Tielemans. Oh, there was 2 passes on there. And he decided against it. He went back to Maddison. Sancho over to Pereira. Perez and Barnes both made runs in behind and it was too late. They strayed offside, but they've still got the ball. With Pereira. Back it goes to Sancho, who keeps the ball on. Who just slams the ball forward. He's going to bounce. And Alisson could have collected it. Inside, he's volleyed it away. What is Alisson doing? Straight to Tielemans, Leicester have possession. Sancho cleared it forward. It was under no pressure at all. Alisson could have literally let that drop into his box and he picked it up, but then he volleyed it instead. If Leicester score from this, it's another error. But I don't think they will because Pereira's been tackled down the left-hand side. They've worked it to Salah. Can they score from the counter-attack? Salah just has to poke it towards Chamberlain. It's Perez who recovers well. And Tielemans finds Ndidi. Zip through to Barnes. He's got Vardy alongside him. Is he going to shoot? He decides to shoot himself. And Harvey Barnes scores for Leicester. I have not seen a turnaround in a game quite like this in a very, very long time. It's an utter collapse from Liverpool. And during their analysis here, Leicester, they're going to be wondering, how have we walked away with a win here? Obviously, it's not over. But it looks like they're going towards 3 points. And I'm not sure how they're going to walk away with this game without any reward. Literally, last 10 minutes, they've crumbled. They've conceded 3, I think, in 8 minutes. And you know how they've conceded? Doing what Leicester have been doing for the first 75 minutes of the game. Poor passes. Not being able to get out their own half. Not keeping possession. That's what Leicester did for the first 75 minutes of the game. But they only conceded 1. As soon as Leicester started to think a bit more positively and forced Liverpool into their errors that they were making, they've scored 3 in 8 minutes. I can't believe this. I've not seen a collapse from Liverpool like this under Klopp's reign. Well, his first few seasons maybe. But in the last few years, I've not seen Liverpool collapse like this. Klopp is going to be furious. The whole team is. But Leicester will not care because they have got 3 goals to their name compared to Liverpool's 1. Wijnaldum's been substituted for Xherdan Shaqiri, and with 4 minutes plus additional time, will there be any more twist in the tail in this game? Tielemans also being replaced by Hamza Chowdhury. Tielemans, the absolute workhorse, never stops running. He's going to be brought off for Hamza Chowdhury, who started the last 2 games in the Premier League on the bench for today's game. But he's going to get the last bit of the game under his belt. Barnes is the one to score. We're somehow Leicester 3, Liverpool 1. What a game. And I don't think any of us can complain that we've had an absolute spectacle of a game here. It's Kabak, who was at fault for the second goal, colliding with his goalkeeper. And here is Alisson, who's I don't know how many errors will be leading to goals, because the third, if they score here, it's another error. It's a poor ball towards his man, and Kabak just about able to outstrengthen Perez to keep the ball for his team. But yeah, Alisson's definitely made one error with Kabak, but with that third goal, he gave away the ball very early on in the move. But then I think Liverpool won it again and then lost it, so I don't think they can blame Alisson. So he's definitely made one error. It's Perez, after being outstrengthened by Kabak, he's gone down, he stayed down, holding his knee, which never is good, because when James Justin did that in the Brighton game, he's now been out of an ACL injury out for the rest of the season. But hopefully it's just a impact injury and just a bruising more than anything. It's just a slight bruise. But Southgate, what a lucky man you are being able to go to some of these games, because you've been absolutely blessed with this one. He's got a real head scratcher. Does Barnes get in the squad? Does Maddison get in the squad? You know, so many questions. Does Curtis Jones maybe ask a question? Oh, here comes the stretcher again. This doesn't look good. What an unbelievable turn of events. Insane. Absolutely insane. 3 goals for Leicester within 7 minutes. Maddison in the 78th, Vardy in the 81st, and Barnes in the 85th. This game completely spun on his head. Like I said, I've watched Leicester lots of times this season, and they were so poor today. They couldn't handle the Liverpool press at all. They couldn't stitch 10-yard passes together. They couldn't create chances, and when they did, they were being sloppy with them. And then in an 8-minute spell, where Liverpool were doing what Leicester have been doing for the game, they've scored 3. So maybe Liverpool look at it and go, we were giving the ball so many times, but we didn't do enough with it. But no stretcher needed for Perez. He is back on his feet, and he's walking on it, so that's good to see. Will the substitute have to be substituted? Perez, yes he will. Perez, who came on for O'Brien's, being replaced now with Mendy. Napoli's Mendy is on. He had a good start to the season, making 14 starts due to the injury of Wilfred Ndidi, but he's been back to the bench for a little bit. But he's going to get some game time today, because he wasn't even in the squad for the Brighton game, Mendy. We are back underway with Kabak to Arnold, back to Kabak on the edge of the 18-yard box for Liverpool. Into Thiago, has to force its way back to Alisson. This is a massive win for Leicester in terms of their title 4 charge, and it's a real hindrance for Liverpool. Henderson brings it forward, outside of the boot, ball forward, flicked on by Mane towards Robertson. Too much on it, and we're about to hit the 90th minute, and we've got a Leicester throw-in. What a game. Unbelievable. It's amazing how a game of football can change so quickly. Our team can go from being so dominant to being so poor, and a team can go from being so poor to so dominant. It's crazy. As Amati throws it down the line, it's bounced onto the head of Robertson. He can't find Shaqiri. Headed forward by Chowdhury, straight to Arnold, who helps it forward. We've got 5 minutes of added on time. Certainly misses the header, and I think a little push in the back there from Mane, and he's got no complaints, so I'm presuming there was a little bit of contact from Mane. Concedes a free kick. Barnes, man of the match. Until the goals, Barnes was quite well handled with by Arnold. I'm going to give the man of the match to... Because Leicester, I'm not even lying, was so poor the first 75 minutes of the game. See, Liverpool's last 15 minutes have cost them a man of the match. Schmeichel sends it forward. I'll have to have a think. I don't know. Kabak can head it back to Alisson, as Schmeichel's ball did not aim or did not get to a Leicester player, and they've thrown it quickly to Robertson. To Chamberlain, there's still time. He's going to look for a long switch towards Salah, and he will get to him. Pereira's going to be letting him have a little bit of room. And Salah looks for the pass, goes to Shaqiri, out wide to Arnold, back to Salah. Arnold. Salah. Being forced back to Kabak, to the halfway line, to Jordan Henderson. Left-hand side it goes. To Andy Robertson. For a lot of Leicester players, this will be their first win against Liverpool. Not well, for Sancho it is. But a lot of them have only picked 1 or 2 wins in the time against Liverpool. Salah Cross is blocked off by Chowdhury. Goes all the way past the halfway line as Kabak has to go and retrieve the ball for his team. He had such... you know what? Every Liverpool player had a good 75 minutes and then it all went to pot. Kabak had a strong game and then it all just fell apart. But they have worked at Shaqiri inside from Arnold. He outstrengthens indeed, and he's worked it to Chamberlain. Outside of the boot ball, out wide left to Robertson. He's going to get a ball in first time. Too hard, too high. And out for a throw-in on the opposite side as Trent Alexander-Arnold smacks the ball into the stands in frustration. He's very lucky he didn't hit the linesman there. He could have took the linesman's head off if he hit that ball into his path. 2.5 minutes left to play. 3-1 it is, and it looks like Leicester is somehow hobbling over the line to a massive 3 points. Massive for the season, this. They will leapfrog United into second, a point ahead of them, but United do obviously still have to play. I think tomorrow against West Brom away. As Chowdhury helps it out for a throw-in for Liverpool. Taken by Arnold over to Chamberlain, volleyed over to Robertson. 2 minutes, can we see a comeback of all comebacks from Liverpool? I don't think we can. But here's Robertson. Looks for Chamberlain, who was the furthest forward, but it's gone past him, and Pereira of Leicester helps it back to Schmeichel, who clears first time. It's Arnold who meets it and helps it back forward, and then helped back towards his own way by Pereira. And it's Barnes who gets there ahead of Arnold. Could we have one more goal for Leicester? He charges forward, he tries to slip through Vardy. Too much onto it, and they weren't quite on the same wavelength with the pass. Thumbs up by Vardy, and it's Alisson who can help the ball forward to Robertson. Henderson, Tamani. He's got Firmino in support, and he will use him, and he'll try and complete a 1-2, but Evans is there to stop it, and his clearance has already gone as far as Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Only 7th league appearance of the season. Got it to Arnold, looped into the sky, and it's headed away by Evans, only as far as Shaqiri, who just nods it into the path of Kabak, who then forces it to Alisson, who've got a minute left to play, and looks like Leicester are on their way to their 40th victory in this fixture. It's the 116th meeting. It's only their 8th Premier League win against Liverpool, and this is the 30th meeting in the Premier League. Out of the 8 Premier League home wins against Liverpool, 5 of them have been at home. Well, if they do get over the line, which I presume they will with 30 seconds to go. Arnold, cross, deflects off Pereira. Corner kick it will be. Can they get a consolation goal for a 5-goal thriller, or will it end 3-1 to Brendan Rodgers' players? And this will be his first win against Jurgen Klopp. He's only won once against Liverpool in his managerial career, and that was his time at Swansea. But in terms of Jurgen Klopp, he's played him 3 times and lost 3 times. That's going to change as indeed he heads it away. In the air it goes, and it's Evans helps it on one more. To Chamberlain, Thiago back out towards Shaqiri. Tackled by Pereira. We've played the 5 minutes. We're just waiting for the referee's whistle, and there it is. Leicester 3, Liverpool 1. It's a massive dagger in the hearts of Liverpool players, fans and staff, as that is now 3 on the bounce without a win in the Premier League for Jurgen Klopp's men. With what was such a positive first 75 minutes, they were on top. They took the lead through Mohamed Salah in the 68th minute, and deservedly so. Leicester couldn't get in a rhythm. They could barely put passes together. But as soon as that Maddison free kick was deemed a goal after there's questions of offside of Amati, as the ball went all the way through the pack of players, the tide turned for Leicester. 4 minutes later, in the 81st minute, a mess up between Alisson and Kabak left the ball free for Vardy to take all the way up to the 6-yard box with no one around him to poke it through for 2-1. And then it was just a matter of trying to see it through, but Leicester went against that and thought, we're going to get another goal. And 4 minutes later, in the 85th, Harvey Barnes finished the game off with a 3-1 victory for Leicester. Like I said, I do not understand how Liverpool are walking away with that game with 0 points, but it just shows you can be good for 75 minutes, but football can change quickly, and we've had a prime example of that today. Brendan Rodgers will look at that first 75 minutes and look, we need to improve because other opponents could hurt us more than what Liverpool did, but in the long term, he won't be complaining. He's got his first win over Jurgen Klopp in four attempts. They leapfrog 6 points above Liverpool now in the table. They're 1 point above United, but they do have to play tomorrow. They're 4 points behind Manchester City, but they do have 2 games in hand on Leicester as well. But in terms of trying to get that top 4 spot, which they so agonisingly missed out on last year, it's looking really good that they're making their way and making positive strides towards that Champions League. They've also got Europa League in the week, so does Liverpool, but they're in the Champions League, and they'll have to try and recover as quick as they can to try and get an advantage against RB Leipzig. But other than that, that is it from me. What a game. Leicester walk away 3-1 champions? 3-1 winners against the current holding champions. They're going through a blip that Liverpool fans are struggling to go through at the minute. Injuries left, right and centre, and they're struggling to pick up points. That's 3 in a row lost for Liverpool. Will they be able to return back to winning ways as soon as possible? We'll have to find out. But thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you on for the next commentary, which is on Tuesday, 8 o'clock, PSG versus Barcelona.